Ladies and gentlemen, love is given, but respect is earned. I remember my first job. I always talk about it in this channel. This lady called Georgina. She had the most powerful air I've ever seen in anyone, man or a woman. No person emanated an aura of respect and honor and dignity more than her. And for the first 3 months, I thought she was the boss. For the first 3 months, I thought that everyone responded to her. But what happened was that she was just the one that people respected. In fact, we did have a boss. But the way that people reacted to her was this. When the boss would talk, they would listen. But when Georgina would talk, they would just pay attention. And Georgina wasn't funny, but everyone laughed at her jokes. The main boss always smiled, like a meditator from a meditation retreat. Georgina was like a fucking lawyer. In fact, she gave me the vibes of Vivian Banks, where she was lovely but stern. And till this day, her mannerism stuck in my brain. And this is something that I know that anybody can imitate. And this is what I'm going to be talking about today. The Georgina method, okay? I call it the Georgina method because, again, she was a woman. And she was a black woman. She even limped. And didn't matter. Like, it just didn't matter. Everyone that met her, for some reason, was enchanted by her. And she actually does the things that I'm gonna talk about today, okay? And if you guys wanna learn about this, I have 2 courses for you. One, The Masculine Man. It's a course that I made for men that would teach you guys from a masculine perspective how to gain respect. And The Feminine Woman. That's a course that I made for women. You'll notice that the first week's video, there's a section called the masculine, embracing your masculinity, and I do talk about these mannerisms in more depth, okay? And by the way, we have finally relaunched our Patreon, which has uploaded a video about how to break mental habits. If you guys join the $5 tier, you guys will be able to have access to those videos and have access to the Zoom call that I'm gonna do live. Meaning, if you wanna 100% go on Zoom with me during the live streams, just join the Patreon, and there you'll be able to go live with Father Alex on Zoom, okay? What else? Yeah, I think that's it, right? Yeah, I think that's it. All right, let's begin with the video. So look, the first thing, what's the source of you not getting respect? You gotta understand, people teach us. We learn the mannerisms. If you're the type of person that doesn't have people respect as an adult, most likely you didn't have a masculine figure. Now, masculine figure doesn't have to necessarily be a man. I mean energy. Most likely you didn't have that energy. I was raised around women. I was. And as a kid, I didn't know how to gain respect because everything I saw was just, I'll be honest, women fighting and I'm like, where the fuck am I supposed to learn this shit from, right? So not having a masculine figure, not having a man in your life or a woman, but just having masculine energy without the Avendito vibes will not teach you how to respect yourself, right? You'll be a people pleaser a lot of the times, right? So what you have to be able to do in order to go back to that is have clear boundaries. Right? Because your boundaries is what creates a reputation of respect. Now, the only way that you create this is if you speak out about what you want, right? You speak out and tell people, hey, I don't like that you did that. I don't like that you said this to me. I don't like what you did. And you having in the past spoken up about being disrespected creates a reputation. Like, people just over time start to say, okay, well, this person speaks up. This person speaks up, man. So that's one thing. Having clear boundaries. The next thing is be difficult. Being difficult for the sake. Actually, we're gonna go back to that one later on, right? The next thing is lower your non-verbal cues. Now, and this is what Georgina did a lot. Georgina, I swear to God, she was like, Alexis, what'd you do today? I'm like, oh. I met for work. I went to 4 meetings. Oh my God, that's why Father Alex got fired. I know, man. I went to 4 meetings and did that. She's like, okay, did you bring the paper? I don't think so. And she wouldn't say fuck. She would be like, like that, right? She was like, get them, like that. And I'm like, but Shalia, when I was the ladies, and she would be like, did you bring the papers, Alexis? No. Okay, it's okay. Well, just make sure to do it. And then she'll fucking talk shit. This motherfucker's an dummy, man. Why the fuck do we hire him, right? As you can see, one is expressing frustration, but one does it with their nonverbal cues more simmering, where you're not like this, fucking psycho. You're more like this. right? So for all the for all the Jennifers out there, for all the Bobs out there, you got to realize that you have to go from this to this, because at the end of the day, people judge this and they see this as a fucking clown, incompetent. That's just the truth. So you got to be able to have lowered those nonverbal cues. So that means sometimes you pause in between responses. So that means when somebody talks, you pause and you think, and you let them know that you're thinking. Like, you almost respect them, right? And honestly, I actually like that. I had a therapist that sometimes he would say, "Can I think about it for a second?" And he would pause. That's actually a real thing, right? Like that shows that you have self-control. So pauses in between responses. You're never rushing, because when you rush, you seem weak. And above all, you learn to speak with your eyebrows. Learn to speak with your face. For example, Georgina, when I would like, "Hey, did you bring your papers?" "No." And that gets a response from me. I'm like, "Oh, get them." You get what I'm saying? Like, like that is, like, even with kids, that gets a kid to fucking respect you, right? That's one thing. Yeah. Okay. So the next thing is, on top of that, is pitch control, right? So learning how to talk in a downward voice. I always talk about this, where you don't speak up like you're fucking going in a wave, you speak down, right? And usually when people are nervous, when people don't respect you, you naturally gravitate towards having a upward type of way of speaking. It's like a natural thing, okay? So you learn to have that downward tone. And speaking with your eyebrows, right? And the next thing is expression, how you express your emotions, right? Expressing your emotions matter, because once again, if you don't control your emotions well, you're gonna come across like this without even knowing it. You're gonna be that happy-go-lucky person that creeps everyone out. So what you want to be able to do is also, don't just look happy all the time. This is the problem. Some people just have one emotional state, right? You got to be able to have multiple emotional states. So that means don't be afraid to look bored when somebody's boring you. Don't be afraid to look annoyed, right? Don't be afraid to show those negative emotions every now and then, because to people who are observing you, they kind of can sense that you're not playing any games, right? They can sense that you're not trying you're not putting on an act. Usually when people are putting on an act, they usually just show one way, one emotion, one state of mind, one personality. When you're being normal, you actually show multiple sides of your personality, right? And this is why it's always good to be difficult during negotiations. An example is that, for example, let's just say you're gonna get paid $10 an hour, right? And when you go in, you know they're not gonna budge. So you first start off at $15 an hour, and you say, "But we can't do that." And then they say, we can't do that. And then you say, "No, I want $15 an hour." And even though you're not gonna get 15, you might still get 10. It's always better just to make it a little bit more difficult, because what it does is that they sort of respect that. They can see you as someone who demands more from people. And even though they may not give it to you, they were like, "Okay, this person." And I'll be honest with you, this is one of the reasons why guys get more respect, because guys are the ones that ask for more. I hire people here. Guys are the ones that literally say, "No, I want this instead." Like, seriously. Like, what I've noticed, women will say, "Okay." And guys be like, "Nah, I want that." I'm like, Jesus Christ, all right, shit. And unfortunately, like, not because you prefer guys, but you just respect them more because of that. Like, it's like I've told people who I hired indirectly to ask for more. You know, like they'll accept a certain offer. In my mind, I'll like indirectly say, you know, in life, you gotta, even though somebody offers you something, you gotta ask for more. Almost like me hinting, "Hey, ask for more." And they don't. Like, guys instinctively, for some reason, ask for more. So what this does is that it puts people on the defensive, right? It puts them on the defensive. They're like, wait, whoa, 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 shit, wait a minute, what? You kind of are attacking them in a way. And that type of attack is a type of attack that earns people's respect. You get what I'm saying? So the next one, let's move this right here. Okay, there you go. All right. So the next one here is your body language, right? Your body language is you lean back, right? You don't lean forward, you lean back. You want it to be more relaxed. Your head, it's going to be more, so leaning up like that, right? Your head is going to be leaning up like that. It's not going to be leaning down, right? It's not going to be leaning down because what this says is that I submit. You want your head leaning up. This does matter. You'd be surprised how many people actually don't do this. Seriously. You want to move slower, right? So that means when you're walking around, you don't try to speed yourself up, right? What you want to be able to do is be more slower, right? And what this does is that that's a little turtle. What this does is that it shows people that you're not in a rush. Rushing causes people to lose respect unconsciously. No sensuality. So if you're a woman, what you have to realize is that you have to be like a man. That's just the part you have to understand. You got to go from fucking this to fucking this. Legit. I mean, I'm not even kidding. Look at Devil Wears Prada. How she look, right? So as a DD masculine as you got to have masculinity. That's the only thing that guys respect, unfortunately. So you can't be fucking miscongeniality. Now that shit don't work. Like there has to be a more masculine energy than feminine energy in anyone in the realm of respect. Look at Angela Merkel. Look at any woman of power. That's what she does, right? I'm in Mexico. You have Claudia, and she has a masculine edge to her, right? Now with your words, you want to just focus on learning how to say less. Practice speaking less. Practice being more succinct with your words. Practice saying with your eyes and with your gesture. A perfect example of that is The Godfather. Another example of that, both Godfathers, Goodfellas, Paulie, where he's actually someone who speaks less. And what it does is that what this does is that it just prevents mistakes. It's not about increasing your aura. It's about preventing losing your aura, right? Now, with people, if you're a people pleaser, if you're someone that doesn't have respect, you're most likely committing this. You treat cold people with warmth. What you want to do is treat cold people with coldness. Give them that same energy. This is what I mean. You can't be afraid of confrontation. You got to learn how to also be difficult. If they're going to be, you got to understand, cold people get the most respect. That's just how it is, right? That's just how it is. Like, I hate to say that, but that's just how it is. Psychopath, cold people, narcissists, people who have an emotional distance, for some reason, people have an insatiable desire to please them. So it's just how people are. Like, I don't know what to tell you guys, man. It's just human nature. I did not make people. Y'all can't blame me. Which comes to the next point. Be willing to displease. Show people that you could be difficult. Show people that if you rub me the wrong way, I could be your worst enemy. Like, I'm willing to play fire with fire. And if that's the case, then you're also willing to say no. Being willing to say no is also, it also shows that you are someone who demands respect, because people who don't gain people's respect are people who always say yes. People pleasers, right? So it comes down to communicating to people that you don't need them, right? That you have more than you appear to have. That if you lose them, that you're going to be completely okay with the situation. Because a lot of you guys, man, like, you guys are great people. But you guys have to stop being so fucking nice, man. Like, we have it all wrong. Your parents taught you wrong. What people respect is the coldness, the psychopathic quality inside of everyone. The wolf inside of the golden retriever. You love a golden retriever, but you respect a wolf more. We're not. We gotta calibrate ourselves out of wanting to be loved and calibrate ourselves into wanting more respect, because too many of you guys, man, y'all take bullshit from everyone, man. Like you just cannot do that to yourself. You know, like you want people to respect you, but you keep letting everyone treat you like shit. And then you go home and look at yourself in the mirror and accept that. Look at yourself in the mirror and fucking smile. The fuck? You gotta have some pride. You gotta demand more from people. That shit of being nice don't work. Fucking being a fucking thinking like you're in a Disney movie. That shit don't work. People look at you and pity you. We're like, how come this person, how this person made it this far? And then you tell people you watch my channel. Y'all can't do that shit, man. Y'all have to realize that you get what you accept from people, what you accept from yourself. Like me when I was younger, I was dumb when I was younger. I accepted disrespect because I was desperate. And you know what came with that? Unsatisfying relationships. People looking at me thinking I'm a fucking weirdo, saying the wrong things. People never listening to like my suggestions. You know, they'll hear you speak and then look away. You know, like they'll talk bad behind your back. And as much as you try to be nice, the more they'll disrespect you. And because you have no backbone, you take it. No, you can't do that. Take a risk. Do what I said in this video, right? Do what I said. You'll notice that. In fact, I also have another course. It's called, Nice Girl and Nice Guy. It's a course that I made to develop this type of assertiveness that most likely, if you're watching this video, that you lack. It teaches you guys when and how to be assertive without getting fired, right? And it'll teach you guys how to develop that reputation of someone who deserves respect. So if you like this video, go check it out. That course is $99. You can click on the description down below to purchase it. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's not a long course. It's a course that's meant to give you guys exactly what it says. Respect from everyone, including and most importantly, yourself. All right. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Check out my new video. It's called How to Break Mental Habits. This is a mental habit, and actually the mental habit of being afraid to talk, of being afraid to confront, is a mental habit because you shun away from it. So that video can help you guys with overcoming that barrier, overcoming that resistance. So click on the description down below, become a Patreon, or else I'm gonna close the channel. Take care.